I'm going to let you guys in on a little behind the scenes here. This is the second time that we have actually recorded this review for Alien vs. Predator, because the first time, I had nothing to say about this film. How is it boring? How in God's name is an Alien vs. Predator film boring? I know that a lot of people out there are going to say, oh, well, this shouldn't really count as a horror film. It's more of an action sci-fi film. It was horrifying to me. Listen, man, you go on Hulu, you find this thing there underneath the horror section, so I'm counting it. Plus, the first week of Thorgiween, it's always supposed to be us just going, okay, what are the things that we've never seen? And we've always kind of wanted to just, like, get off that checklist. And I've had so many people tell me for so long that, you know what? The second Alien vs. Predator, hot garbage. But the first one, actually not bad. The first Alien vs. Predator, actually pretty darn good. What are you talking about? This movie is awful. And I know, I have a long-running negative history with Paul W.S. Anderson. I didn't know he made this film. I did not go into this thing, like, expecting to already hate this thing because Paul W.S. Anderson made it. Instead, I got to the end of the film, and it was like that Looney Tunes skit where it's just like, who is responsible for this? Directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. Peach. Oh, no. Okay. Jeez, you won't be able to face hugger and jump all over us.
AVP, Alien vs. Puppy.
Yes, that'd be a better film. The puppies would win because the aliens can't take over their cuteness. I don't know what I'm saying. Well, right, we had to redo this thing. Because I could not think of anything to say the first time around. I'm already getting to that point. I'm like, oh my God, I even watched what we had already said about this. I got mental notes now. I still got nothing to say about this thing.
There really isn't much to say, honestly.
I fell asleep the first time that we watched this.
Yes, you did.
And when I woke up, I went, oh my God, I must have missed like half an hour, 40 minutes of this thing. So I had to go back and watch this thing again. I missed maybe 10 minutes max. Because this movie just gets to a point which is just like, you know all those characters we were setting up there at the beginning? Who cares? Screw that noise. Just, they're gone. That's it, they're just gone. Forget all of that stuff. Which in all fairness, if it's an Alien vs. Predator film, you do kind of want to see the aliens versus the Predators. But don't spend all this time setting these characters up just so you can be like, they're gone. Which, again, I did not go into this thing going, all right, I'm going to just hate on this because it's Paul W.S. Anderson. But now that I'm thinking back on it, I'm going, oh my God, like matching this up with the Resident Evil films, this is a guy who just loves to go, here's some characters, I forgot to write anything for them. Anywho, yeah, I remember in that last Resident Evil film, there was a character who, they didn't even die, they just weren't in the rest of the movie. Remember that, brother? Yeah. That guy who he was there with the team, and then they go from one location to another, and then he's just not in any shots of him. What? Okay, sure. This film, it does, I think, kill everyone off? No, there's a couple of people who I'm going through the Rolodex of, maybe they did actually kill them off, and I just didn't care. Maybe. It's hard to say.
Like, basically, everyone dies except for, like, the main female protagonist.
Yeah, which I will say, out of all the characters, she was pretty decent. This is not Paul W.S. Anderson writing his own, like, OC and then giving it to his wife again. They actually had, like, kind of a developed character in here for once. And goes, okay, she's got, like, some backstory, some stuff with her father there. Okay, all right, she seems smart and competent in here. She's not just a character defined by her ability to do kicks. Okay, sure. She's actually got some stuff to her, so I'll give him that. There are some positives I can give this movie. I will go ahead and say that. There are some positives I can give this movie, and one is that the protagonist in here is okay. She's all right. She's not bad. Another positive I can give this thing, there is one death scene in here that is legitimately a good death scene. Like, it is the kind of thing that you would look at and go, that could have fit right into any of the other Alien films. Any of the other Alien films, which I know that a lot of them have been bad, but there have been other good Alien films. The first and the second one, they're good. You could have fit this scene in there. It was actually pretty good. There was a scene in which there are two guys, they're like fused to the wall and that alien goo, and then you see an egg starting to open up. Well, no, and he's trying to reach over to his friend who's already dead to grab the gun out of his pocket, and he grabs it and just unloads the clip into the egg, and then the camera zooms out, and then you see there's 12 other eggs in there that just...
Like, at least.
Yeah, like it's a room full of them, and then just all of them start opening up. That is a legitimately good scene. That is actually a good scene.
Well, I guess we should explain why the aliens and the predators fight each other.
I'm glad you decided to come in there with that because I just realized I have no other good things to say about this movie. So yeah, what this is that it is an expedition team being funded by Weyland of the Weyland-Yutani group from the Alien franchise. He is about to die, which I will say this, I was expecting Weyland to just basically be your typical evil, I'm evil, it's all about money. No, he's dying, and there's nothing that anyone can do about that, but he's come to the realization, hey man, you can't take it with you, so I want to at least give something to the world. I want to at least do something that people will remember my name for.
Remember me!
Was that a Futurama reference?
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, that's where my mind went, but my mind always goes to Futurama. So...
It was either that or Coco, but...
Sorry, I can't stop thinking about Futurama. Anywho, okay, focus. So he's heard these rumors, and he's gotten a few little reports about how there is this pyramid under Antarctica. So he gets together this team of special scientists and explorers to all go and locate this thing. And you get a decent amount of time spent with these explorers, and you get to learn a decent amount about them. And again, compared to most other Paul W.S. Anderson films, they did a better job setting these characters up than most of them. I'll give them that. I actually remember some of the characters in here, as opposed to a lot of other Paul W.S. Anderson films. Which, considering that the dude did 7 Resident Evil games, seven Resident Evil movies, and I love the Resident Evil games, I should remember those characters, but I don't. Was Chris Redfield in any of those movies? I don't know. Sorry, our dog is now sprawled out on the floor. It's hilarious. It's distracting me. So they do a decent job setting them up, and they get there, they go underground, and it's weird because when they arrive in Antarctica, there's already like a base camp set up there from someone else, but the base camp, it looks like just an Old West set on a movie.
Maybe it was the base where the thing took place.
It really does look like the remains of the Thing. Like at the end of the Thing movie, it almost looks like you're expected to find like 2 frozen bodies of just Childs and God, how am I not remembering the protagonist's name? But Kurt Russell. Just expecting to find the
Alien versus Predator versus the Thing.
It's kind of like how originally they were supposed to be a sequel to Freddy vs. Jason. That was going to be Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash. You can do that. I just found out recently that John Carpenter actually wanted there to be a sequel to The Thing. They had an idea like, no, we're going to set immediately after that happens, and it's them still sitting out there in the cold, and a rescue team shows up, and now it all starts over again. I'm so glad that didn't happen. That thing needed to just remain as one thing. But I'm getting off on a tangent because I don't want to talk about this movie. But yeah, it's very weird that this thing is... There is a location above where they have to dig, but I mean, it's like houses with no walls on there. It's like metal tin sheets just like hammered into wood, barely staying up. It's the kind of thing where if your house gets knocked down, but there's still another tornado coming,
yeah,
it's the best that you can fix in like the limited amount of time you have to try and like gain some shelter. It's so weird. I don't know what the story on that location was.
Well, it doesn't matter anyhow.
It doesn't matter.
Because they all go under the ice to the temple, and that's where like most of the movie takes place
That's
anyhow.
a decent looking temple. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
Special effects wise, it's a decent looking temple. They go in there, and basically what they discover is that there were these visitors from space. And here's something that I have to come in here and nitpick on this film immediately. They take their good, sweet time showing the predators. Like, the predators are in shadow for a long period of time. And then you see, like, hints of things that you know from other Predator films as they're standing around. And it's supposed to be, like, this big reveal of when the predators show up. And I just kept looking at it going, they're in the fucking title. Like, we know they're in this movie. This wasn't, like, Aliens 4. And we went into Aliens 4. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's another race of alien. There's another race of extraterrestrials out there. How are they related to the xenomorphs? And then all of a sudden predators show up and, oh my God, that's a big shock. No, it's aliens versus predator, and yet they kept hiding the predators in here because they wanted to be a big reveal. What? All right, sure, fine, whatever. But the predators then show up. No, wait, I jumped ahead a little bit. They basically discovered that the temple was built by early man who was reaching out to these extraterrestrials, and they were the predators, and the predators basically made an agreement with the humans where they were going to give them these xenomorph eggs to impregnate them so that they could spawn the xenomorphs. The ultimate hunt.
I thought that was the predators that built the temples.
Whatever. Not important at all. They were going to spawn the xenomorphs, and in exchange for these human sacrifices so that the predators can have the ultimate hunt, the predators would like give them knowledge or weapons, or that's not important either.
Whatever.
But there was a quid pro quo on that thing. The predators got impeached. It was this very big debacle. I'm really hoping that joke isn't dated by the time this episode goes up. Anywho, so they walk into this temple and they activate a booby trap, which lets the predators know, all right, time to go on back. There's humans there again. They go on down there. They arrive. They immediately start killing off people. But there is a alien queen in like the lower part of the pyramid that it's been chained up there for centuries now at this point. And when they start walking around, they basically reawaken the alien queen. Mm-hmm. They activate it again, and it just starts pumping out eggs again, which is a little bit odd. Like, what's it been eating this entire time? I was kind of wondering that during this film, but we don't know the internal workings of a xeno. I mean,
no.
Their blood is acid. We don't even know if they eat to begin with. We know they kill, but I mean, we've never really seen them digest or eat anything. Like, who even knows? So she wakes up, she starts pumping out the eggs again. The eggs find their way to the humans, start taking some of the humans out in there, start creating more of the xenomorphs. And this is when the movie, like, I had been kind of on the movie side at this point. I wasn't loving it, but I definitely wasn't hating it or anything at this point. I thought that was okay, it's fine at this point. But, you know, we haven't even gotten the aliens or the predators at this point, so you can't really judge the film until that point. So I was just like, all right, it's what we're getting before the aliens and predators, it's fine. This movie immediately started going downhill for me the moment that the first face hugger showed up. And it jumped off to land on someone, and it jumps
like a slow-mo.
In this Matrix slow-mo, camera zooming around. God, I just looked at that, and I kept trying to figure out how to describe Paul W.S. Anderson's directing style, and it finally hit me. It's try hard. And I hate using that phrase because so many people use that phrase. That phrase has become like just a go-to insult that at this point doesn't even really mean anything. But with him, it kind of means something because you look at him and what he directs, and it's so clear. He watched a lot of other people who had really cool ideas and just went in there and went, I can do that too. Not really.
No, the facehuggers don't work in slow motion. The whole point is like they jump at you and you don't have time to react.
Yeah, or they're like a creepy, crawly little thing, which there are moments in here where it's this. The jumping facehugger was pure CGI and it did not look all that great. But there are moments where it's practical effects. Or if they're not practical effects, they're really good special effects that look like practical effects, where they're like coming out of the eggs, and you just see the fingers there. Like, that was legit creepy. That was a really good use of that facehugger in there. That was good. More of that, please. We don't need the Matrix bullet time facehuggers. Oh, the moment that happened, I just went, oh God, no. Oh, what's this gonna be? But you know what? It's Alien versus Predator. It's not so much meant to be like suspenseful and creepy and crawly. It's like we're getting to the aliens versus the Predator. And we do get into like a big knockdown, drag out fight with an alien and a Predator, which is all right. I mean, it's fine. I didn't hate it, but it was a lot of me just going, I've seen so many other people do stuff like this so much better. It's one of those things where you can't help but compare what you're looking to other things that did it better as you're watching it. And yeah, that was a problem with even the cool moments in here.
Well, for me, like, I'm not as familiar with the Predator or Aliens movies. Like, I've seen the first and second Alien movies. I tried watching the third one, but it was crap.
You're pretty good on that, yeah.
I saw the first Predator, and that's it, so...
You're pretty good on that, too.
Yeah, so...
I know there's a lot of people out there who really like the second Predator film. I saw it when I was a kid, and I thought it was okay, but it's one of those things where every time that I revisit my memories, I'm just like, I don't think that holds up anymore. But I have not gone back and seen it again, so I don't know if it holds up or not. I like I like Predators, the Adrian Brody one, which it's weird that Adrian Brody was turned into an action star for that one, but I actually really like that one. But the last Predator film that came out, the one, not James Gunn, but whoever it was that did that one, oh man, I came out of that thing like, it's not good, I'm sorry folks, but as time has gone on, I've gone from it's not good to, oh, it's bad. So, yeah, Predator has definitely had a better track record than Alien, but after Aliens, oh man, this thing started bobsledding downhill. So yeah, you've seen the good stuff.
Yes.
So you're fine. But yeah, so what did you think as someone who only has seen those good ones in there?
I do like the idea of a crossover because, they're in space and, there's like so many possibilities in space. There's like so many different kinds of aliens and other things. So the possibility of predators, like this race that like a noble race of warriors and the xenomorphs, like a race of aliens that are pretty much like primitive hunting animals and everything, having them converge seems like a really interesting idea.
Also, people, the predators, they are the ultimate killing machine. They are the ultimate hunters. And yes, people have described for a long time, the xenomorphs are basically like sharks in space. Like they are the ultimate life form designed for killing. So yeah, it does make sense.
Like, I think it would be cool if like maybe, I don't know, like on the Predators planet, like they would have like coliseums like they did in Rome where like the warriors would fight lions, but instead it'd be like the Predators fighting off xenomorphs.
Okay. But yeah, this is a crossover that people want for a long time, because I remember in Predators 2, there was like a xenomorph skull inside like the trophy case. Like it was a quick Easter egg in the background, but even though it was just an Easter egg, that got people going, I want to see this. I need to see this actually happen. And there have been comics, there have been video games, there have been so many, like, unofficial crossovers.
Yeah.
So people were wanting the official crossover, and I'm pretty sure that those comics and games were all better than what we actually ended up getting here. Because, yeah, you get that one fight in there, and I thought, okay, it's all right, but it is, again, it's one of those things where you can't help but look at it and go, yeah, other people would have done this way better. So I wasn't hating on it, but I wasn't really enjoying it. But it was after that point that I kind of started dozing off the first time around. And then when I watched it again the second time, because when I dozed off, there were like 4 main humans still left alive. And then, no, there was like 5 main humans still left alive. And then I went back, I rewatched it. I watched that like 10 minutes that I missed. All of them are just taken out, just done. That's it. Like no importance at all. Like does not matter at all. Mm-hmm. And the whole kind of like, I think the tagline of this was, no matter who wins, we lose.
Yeah.
And basically like the pitch of it is like, it's aliens versus predators and humans are caught in the middle of this thing. It really doesn't feel like the humans are important to this at all.
Yeah.
In any way. Mm-hmm. They feel so insignificant.
It's like the humans were just there to introduce the aliens and the predators and everything.
Which is a shame, because the aliens and predators in this are basically just monsters. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy monsters, but I mean they're just action figures punching each other. That's all that they are. And you actually establish some interesting humans in here with some backstories and stuff that I'm like, okay, they've got my attention, and then you just like shove them, like sweep them off that stage. It's time for the Predator and Alien show in here. And the Predator and Alien show gets real fucking boring after that. Like I said, I thought that knockdown drag out fight between them was like, okay, it's fine, I guess, it's whatever. And then after that, I don't even remember like the Predators fighting off the aliens. Like I don't even remember anything up until like the big escape there at the end. Everything else in that moment is just a complete blur.
Well,
and again, I had to go back and watch this thing twice.
Well, the humans got caught in like the temple, which is basically like an Indiana Jones set because there's all these booby traps and everything. Meanwhile, I think the xenomorphs, like they went down into the cellar to.
There was the Scarface xenomorph in there who went down. He was the one ringleader, which I do appreciate that they gave like one of them a unique design, so you can be like, oh, it's that they're the one that I gotta look out for. They've got a scar on their face, which is a very go-to move when you have a bunch of faceless monsters and you gotta make one the big one. Oh, that one gremlin has got a stripe in its hair. Yeah, it's a very old tactic, but it works. So I appreciate it. That was a good enough idea.
Like, basically, the alien queen, like, summons, like, her children
She summons
to, like...
them, they go down and break her out.
Yeah, like,
But it feels like there's a second act of this film in there. Because I remember, okay, Predator shows up, knockdown, drag out fight with that alien. Oh, okay, does not. Wake up, okay, now they're freeing the alien queen. Where's, like, all the other alien versus Predator stuff in here?
That was it. Like, the thing is, like, because they had like go to their queen, they stopped fighting the predators, so you can't really.
Yeah, it feels like for a movie that's Alien vs. Predator, there is a huge lacking of Alien vs. Predator in this film. Yeah, like I said, it really feels like I just missed a second act of this film because I'm going over again in my mind, and I've seen this thing twice now, and it really does feel like scene not found.
Scene, yes.
Yeah. Scene not found. Yeah, it feels like I'm just going through that, and it's like, okay, then that happened. Okay, there was the knockdown, drag out fight, and then they awoke the alien queen. No, that can't be the next thing that happened. We had all these characters. Oh, right, they all died like almost instantly. Okay, no, that couldn't. But there was. What about the predators? We were following the predators. No, we stopped doing that. There's a piece. There's a piece of this film, like right here, that's missing. And it feels like that's the really good fun stuff I kind of wanted in this movie. Yeah, it's really disappointing that, again, it's not so much that what we got was bad, although there is some bad stuff in here. But it really feels like we just missed a lot of cool stuff that we should have seen in this movie. Because, yeah, you introduce some interesting humans. They're gone. So all we're really left with now is the main character. And she decides, okay, well, the weapons we found here, they were for the predators, and they need the weapons to hunt the xenomorphs. If I give it back to him, he'll understand, he'll be on our side. And indeed, that's what happened. She gave it back to the predator that we're following. They take it, and then they just team up. And that kind of took the interest out of the predator for me. I'm sure there are some people out there who's like, no, a predator and the human teaming up, that's a really cool idea. I can see the appeal of that. But I just remember watching that after that moment and thought, the Predator no longer feels like the big badass hunter from space. The Predator now just feels like a tall human. A tall human with no dialogue, no backstory. We had all these other humans with interesting, like, character beats to them. This Predator really just, all the interest is taken out of him. It's now just a big guy that she's walking around with. And I had no interest in it after that point. Yeah, his film, it kind of took the punch out of the Predator for me after that point. Once they get to that point where they're actually teaming up, I found the Predator just be some very uninteresting character in here. Up until that point, it was, okay, it might just be an action figure, but at least it's an action figure and you can punch that thing around. Now it's just someone, like, just vague hand signs. Okay, that's your entire character there. All right, fine. Yeah, just kind of found it to be really boring and uninteresting. I mean, there's some cool ideas in there, like when the Predator has to give her a weapon to fight with, so it dissects the xenomorph to give it to her. That's a cool enough idea, although I do have to question how on earth she's able to use the xenomorph skull as a shield. It's a cool idea to use the xenomorph skin to protect from the xenomorph acid because the acid can't burn its own skin. That makes sense, except that when you peel it off, the blood would be on the other side, so how are you holding this thing? I had several questions, but as we said, after Scene Not Found, the alien queen is now free, they have escaped, and this is when it just stops from being like, okay, these two monsters going at each other, and it just becomes the dumbest action film. It just becomes dumb, cliche action film, because they've even got like we're running away from the explosion in slow motion scene. Which, I don't want to see a Predator running in slow motion from an explosion. I don't, like I said, as soon as the Predator teams up with her, it's not a Predator anymore. It's just a tall dude with no personality. And I found it to be really boring. So yeah, I mean, like the modes of like the Predator running in slow motion from the explosion and the two of them like sliding to freedom there. What am I even watching now at this point? But that pales in comparison when the alien queen pops out and starts running after them. Because...
Oh, Peach.
I knew your squeak toy was going to be a problem eventually, Peach. Also, you people can't see this, but there's a green squeak toy in my hand. Enjoy. Yay. We're keeping all that in.
Yes, we don't care anymore.
We don't care anymore.
Don't care.
I don't care. When the alien... If we got 2 more days in this first week, and then 3 weeks after that. Anywho, so, when it gets to that point where the alien queen pops out of the ice and starts chasing after them, again, you look at this, and the Predator to me stopped being a Predator. That stopped being a Xenomorph to me. And that just became a T-Rex. It was literally just a T-Rex chase scene from Jurassic Park. Like, they might as well just hopped on a Jeep to run away from this thing. Must go faster. Oh.
Like, the Predator would just be splayed out. Like,
oh yeah, the Predator gets injected by the egg, and then it's just sprawling. Takes its mask off, and the clickers just start going. This shield will protect you from the alien acid. You ever seen that matchup that's just that for like 2 hours straight? I mean, don't watch that for 2 hours, but it's interesting that that thing exists. So, yeah, they just start getting chased by a T-Rex in that scene. And don't get me wrong, it's not like I'm saying you can't fight the Queen. They fight the Queen in the second one, but the Queen still feels like it has mass, like it takes up weight, like it's this big intimidating force. We're keeping all this in, fucking. This is just a giant CGI thing chasing after them. This is just a special effect they're running from. Like, it is running even like a T-Rex with like the little arms and the big legs chasing after it. In Alien, when it has to go up against Ripley in the big lifting device, yeah, it feels like a big force there. It feels like something with a lot of weight behind it. This is just a big CGI creature chasing after them.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like practical effects are at its strongest, when there's actual like a physical thing that there to interact with.
Yeah, and the aliens, part of what makes them so frightening is just them. It is just
their presence.
Yes, thank you, yes. It's their presence. This thing doesn't have presence. It's just a big walking special effect thing in there. But again, like the Queen, it's supposed to feel like this. Excuse me. It's supposed to be just this big, intimidating presence. This is not a big, intimidating presence. It's just a T-Rex.
And what's even worse is like they kill it off so easily.
So fast.
Like they basically just cause.
What was the point of any of this?
They just cause an avalanche, and oops, there it goes.
Like,
bye.
Again, it feels like there was a movie in here up until a point, and then after that they went, oh my god, we only have so much time left in this film. Wrap it up, B. Wrap it up. Yeah, this thing, it's an interesting beginning. It's an alright film up until the Predators show up. Then it's kind of, there's that okay fight in there. And then after that, it is just a sled ride down to the bottom of this hill of them just trying to get out of this movie. They just had to get this thing done. And the thing is, I don't even think that was like some producer thing. I don't even think because you don't shoot films in chronological order.
How long was this movie how long is this
like
movie?
An hour and 40 minutes.
Because I know a lot of movies 2 hours, maybe even over 2 hours.
Maybe there are deleted scenes or something, but yeah, it does not feel like this is a movie where producers came in here and said, okay, well, you gotta cut everything out of the ending in here, which maybe it was, who knows. But this just feels to me like as soon as they got to that point of the aliens are fighting the Predators, they didn't stop caring, they stopped thinking. They stopped thinking about what to do with this film. And they're just like, do this, yeah, we made our movie.
But also it's what you can't do.
There's always that when it comes to crossovers. There's always the big element of okay, well, legally we can't do this thing. Okay, well, there's problems if we decide to do this. And, the alien people are saying this thing. And, but the Predator people are saying this thing. Well, we have to make a compromise on this thing. And we've talked about this many times, but the best crossovers in the world will always be fan-made ones. They're always going to be fan fiction, simply because the moment that you have to come in here and get the studios involved, and get the rights involved, and do all that stuff and have 9 different people coming in here with different ideas of what they want to see happen in this thing. It's always going to be a problem. Pete's going, all right, that's enough. That's enough of that, you. Oh, she's mad that I took this from her. She's mad. I have a hole in my chest now with the green screen. But yeah, Freddy vs. Jason is a great example because that thing was in development for well over a decade. Actually, it might even have been 2 decades. They had been pitching that idea around. And there have been so many different ideas with both studios just basically no, you can't do this. Well, you gotta do this, and you gotta make sure to include this, but you can't include that, and going back and forth and back and forth. And yeah, there had been I think 20 different scripts for that thing written, and I think the one we got was the only one we could have gotten, but was probably one of the least interesting ones we could have gotten. So yeah. there is always that unknown element of what actually happened.
Yeah.
What happened? So yeah, that's it. That's our second time recording our thoughts on this thing.
Oh.
Peach, you want this ball. So we're gonna go, we're gonna play fetch with the puppy. You guys come back tomorrow and every day this month for even more scary movie reviews. As I said, for this first week, we're doing 6 movies, 3 good, 3 bad. This is a good one, so we're going, I'm sorry. This one, God, you want, fine, get in my lap.
Jeez, you are so squirmy.
He has the larger lap.
That's true.
So, yes, we did. Let's wrap this up quick. Peach, sign me out. So, we did a bad one today, but then tomorrow we're going to do a good one. Actually, it's still a really stupid movie, but it's stupid fun, so it might be enjoyable. Anyway, that's it for today's post-Shriek Out reaction. Make sure that you smash the bell so you know when the next video goes up. Peach, are you enjoying this or not? Jeez. Because I expected you to get way more squirty, but you're just like, no, I want to lick your face. All right, we're going to sign out now. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Oh my God, she's going for the face. Bye, and happy Halloween.